The Earth's system is composed of the core mantle, and the crustal heat rising from the core creates creeping in the solid mantle, making it behave like paste. It moves upward. It can have convection, as you can see here, and the convection, when it reaches the harder and colder across of the Earth, it cracks it and creates motion in those cracked pieces. We call it continental drift. This is plate tectonics practically, and creates earthquakes around the boundaries of the plates, where the uplift of the material creates new oceanic crust, and when it is on the land creates new land. And the eruption happens like that when the magma rises to the surface through the rocks gradually through the earthquakes, creates it pathway. When the entry of the material is more than the exit, what happens is that the land starts to swells up, and we measure these things by the GPS data. The moment that the entry of the magma to the reservoir equals the exit of the material, the land uplift or rising stops. We can measure it. Our GPS data measure the distance between these stations and the satellites in the orbit, and when we plot them on a diagram, we can see them on of the land UFT, or land rise. At the moment we see that the land rise has stopped, like what happened in November 2024 just before the eruption. Land rise stopped. The entry and exit of the magma to the reservoir was equal, so practically land stopped to rise. It was staying stationary at the level that it was. We are seeing in almost all the stations in that area of the Svartsengi volcanic system, this in LSS at Heron, and the stations around it like Torian. We see this pattern repeating, the entry of the magma and exit it from the reservoir, or equal whether this magma is going to erupt or just moving horizontally forming a lelite, and lelite is not clear. If it rises to the surface and create a crack and find a pathway, it may erupt like what happened in the past, but at the moment is very complex. We don't know what is going to happen next. But if it's going to happen, and if it is going to erupt, these are the things that we expect to happen. This is the pattern. I have a video watch that hope we know the eruption has started. This is the Royce Peninsula, and this is the Svartsengi volcanic system that we are talking about. You see a cluster of the earthquakes appearing, concentrated in the certain area, in this case near the Svartsengi volcanic system. Before that you see just waves of the earthquakes appearing on the chart, then a huge cluster, and they're intense, very close up to magnitude are 3 in the Rory scale. You see the wave coming, the tremors, and on the chart you see them rise in the traw. That was a December 23rd. This is the January, and this is the February eruption. As you can see, we have a high rise, southern rise in the tremors, which shows the eruption have it started. This is the moment that the earthquake suddenly increased. This is breaking through the surface, cracking the rocks, pulverizing them, making way for the magma to erupt, and the more that it happens, the pressure is relieved. You will see the gases volatilize inside the magma, actually coming to the surface, pushing the magma upward, creating lava. You see at the depth bubbles rising. This is the crushing moment that happens. Then what happens is that the magma reaches the surface area with the lowest pressure and the bank. You can monitor the situation by looking at the MBL Iceland and ROV Iceland live on the camera, and just see how it happens in real time. I recommend that you do that. Of course you could say that you don't need any of these geophysics. You can just look at the cameras and you will see it.